Now, we know the cause of the disease. So by just reversing it, you can definitely become healthy. So what we do is, we teach techniques in our institute to clean the unwanted energies and fill in good energy. Normally we use Reiki, a Japanese technique for such purpose. So the person along with the supporters learns Reiki and fills in positive energy, good energy, after removing the unwanted energy. What happens in this case? The cell is bad, like here, but is filled by positive energy. So the cell has to absorb the positive energy if it has to live in the condition in which it is already. So it has to absorb the positive energy, naturally positive. And with time, which may take 6 months or 1 year, this slowly starts to vibrate with natural frequency that is surrounding it. And the cell becomes healthy naturally. When all the cells of the organ becomes healthy, the pancreas in this case also becomes healthy. And the naming ceremony, whatever they had performed, that has to be reversed, and the so-called diabetes will simply vanish from that person. So like that, according to my experience, many so-called incurable diseases are simply cured. So Reiki is a very useful technique in this case, because when you can use that Reiki energy directly to activate the energy centers, in turn the Sukshma Shariras or the subtle bodies. You can even give Reiki energy to group of cells directly and ask those cells to absorb that and become better. A lot more advantages are there with Reiki. Now coming to the mind related issues, suppose something has happened to you in this birth or in the past life, which it has defamed you or demoralized you, and you cannot give back and say, wow, I have given it back, and forget it, nor you can excuse and forget it. You don't do that and we can't do that. So we keep that trauma or the sadness within us and brood over it, and it manifests as a sickness again. So most of the anger, short-temperedness, fear, undiagnosed pains and problems, they all mostly are connected to past lives. And comes the soul. We always feel that we live only 60 or 70 years. It's totally false. We need to live for 120 years. If you sum up the influence of the planets, it comes to 120 years. So we are destined to live for 120 years, but unfortunately we are not. After we die, once the physical body dies, the physical energy body dies, or it merges with the next body. These two merges with the third, the three merges with the fourth, the four merges with the fifth, the five merges with the sixth, all these six merges with the soul. And it stays on the earth till then, and then rises its frequency, and against the gravity of the earth, it drifts above the earth to some plane. We can call it as loka, as we are Hindus, and we can use the term loka. It stays there for some time and then ascends further. And ultimately it goes to the place from where we have come down, and that place is known as great consciousness. We Hindus call it as Devaloka or Devaru, that is God. From there we again coronate and come down to earth. This is a cycle. Like that we take birth at least for 4,500 times. We coronate, we take birth. The life of one coronation, that is from birth, go through the life, die, go back to the origin, again come down, that is one birth or one janma or one coronation. The time required on an average is 2,500 years for that. But nowadays, even 10 to 20, within 10 to 20 years, that soul is reincarnating. I really do not know the reason why it's happening so. But on an average, it takes about 2,500 years. So like that, we reincarnate many times, take the experiences, and through the 5 sensory organs of the body, that is the tongue, the eyes, the nose, the ears and the skin, we give those experiences to the soul. Sometimes it so happens the emotional body and the mental body, they are so strong and adamant, they cannot merge with the rest of the bodies. Suppose I wanted to eat something very beautiful and died. My emotion is not quenched. So it stays in the plane of earth. Because the soul cannot vibrate at higher frequency and drift above the earth. Because these two are discrete. They have maintained their own separate identity and they are not merged with the soul. So they cannot go up. Once they cannot go up, once the soul cannot go up, then we call such soul as earthbound element. In Kannada and in Sanskrit we call it as pretatma. That is, you can call it as, you can call it as devil, spirit, evil spirit, earthbound element, anything you want. Now, unfortunately, that soul has emotion and the mind. They are so strong, the soul thinks that it is alive. It fails to accept that it has no body. So it will be going somewhere and it sees someone drinking the coffee. It says, well, I want to drink the coffee. It goes. But it cannot enjoy the flavor of fragrance and flavor of coffee because it has no tongue and the nose. So it suffers. It suffers. Like that, what all we do when we have the body, it tries to do that, but it cannot do it. And so it is emotionally highly disturbed. And under such circumstances, if it comes to a person whose aura is very weak or his mind is totally not with him, it easily enters that person, and that you call it as possession. So suppose this is the mind of the host and the entity's mind is there. This entity's mind catches hold of the mind of the client or the host and dictate terms to the mind of the host and the body of the host. And he starts behaving very peculiarly. His nature changes, his qualities changes, everything in him simply changes. And what all the qualities of the spirit will simply get transferred to the host. The diseases, nature, the qualities, everything will simply get transferred to the host, and the host suffers for no reason. So this is the third type of problem people normally encounter with. If the spirit, when it died, had cancer or kidney failure or migraine headache, it simply gets manifested in the host from that moment itself. So such problems cannot be addressed by medical people. So these beautiful drugless therapies are so handy, so easy to learn and easy to practice. It really relieves the human sufferings to a very good extent. In fact, this is surprising and shocking probably to many of you. It is true. 100 people who are rejects of allopathy and other pathies, other sciences, coming to me. I am not a medical doctor at all. And if they come to me, the present result of my clinic is 95 to 96 people get cured. This is the result of my clinic. And I can attribute the success of my clinic only to this theory, because it's working. I teach Reiki, all the levels of Reiki, hypnosis, all the levels of hypnosis. I teach about 27 different healing sciences. Have you ever seen a migraine headache having got cured through allopathy? Asthma, diabetes, cancer. Some of the cancer they say they have cured, but it again relapses and it goes off. Kidney failure, there's spondylosis, simple spondylosis. Have they been able to cure? No. So only problems connected to viral infections, bacteria, well, they are healing, because they can really handle those viruses. They can. That too not fully. AIDS. They have not been able to do anything. Hepatitis B. What have they done? So, well, it is a science which is really useful to society. At the same time, it is not perfect. It is not full. It is not at all full. Unless medical people recognizes the soul and the other part of the soul, if you want to call it as entity, and the beauty of the power, they can do nothing. In fact, for the benefit of the society and viewers, more than I healing or me healing, I teach these sciences to the sufferers and their supporters. I teach 27 sciences and they learn and then try to heal themselves. And if they cannot heal themselves, then they come to me for healing. And through my student network, I have about 42 healers who can heal like me. I get them healed. So like this, I teach quite a few, 27 sciences I teach, and they are quite useful. There is no side effect when you use these drugless therapies. They heal you or keep quiet. They have no adverse effect. So that's one more advantage. Well, my message to public or people, we basically suffer because our soul wants to see what that suffering is. Suppose I am poor, my soul wants to understand poverty, its pain, its humiliation, and so many other things. That's why before I am born, my soul writes a plan of life, what we call it as a horoscope, natal chart, or whatever you want to call it, and we go in line with it, parallel to that. We experience all those things and go along. So, whatever problem you have, I suggest you enjoy it awarefully. I repeat, enjoy your problems awarefully and give all those experiences to your soul. Thank you. When you think you cannot handle it anymore, then you can learn these drugless therapies, especially the spiritual component. For all of the world, I am the only person teaching the spiritual component of Reiki. As I have 3 world's best Reiki masters, and I go to the nook and corner of the world teaching these things, I am aware of this. The spiritual part of reincarnation, spiritual part of why we have to enjoy our sufferings, and when we cannot enjoy it, how to stop it. I am the only Reiki master teaching for the whole of the world. So you can learn Reiki and put an end to your suffering. To a good extent you can do that. Or go to a healer and see if he can help you by taking you to the past life and relieve your problem. Or go to a spirit releasing expert and get your spirits removed and help your soul alone to stay with you. When you do all these things, you can get rid of your problems. Don't think just because you are well read, just because you can't see, don't think that all these things are rubbish. You are putting a limitation on your own health, wealth and prosperity if you do so. As a human being, as we are destined to suffer, we are also destined to enjoy. So, your sufferings can be put to an end when you consciously decide to put an end. And these are the techniques that really helps you to put an end, and there you go. I wish all the best and healthy life, joyous life for all the viewers.